There was no lack of friendly gestures during the likely last visit by Angela Merkel as Chancellor to Great Britain. The Chancellor attended a meeting of the British cabinet, albeit virtually. Such an honor was last bestowed on then US President Bill Clinton in 1997 during a visit to London. Merkel also had a private audience with the Queen at Windsor Castle on Friday as the crowning glory of her short visit to the island. In the physical one-to-one conversation with Boris Johnson at the government's country residence in Chequers near London, however, it was about a topic on which Merkel and the British Prime Minister have very different views: the spread of the Delta variant of the coronavirus. Johnson has agreed with UEFA that the two semi-finals and the final of the European Football Championship can be held in London with more than 60,000 spectators each. At the joint press conference, Merkel confirmed that she is critical of such audience figures. "I'm worried and skeptical whether this is good and not a bit much." Johnson, on the other hand, took the position that due to the high vaccination rate in Great Britain, a wall of immunity would be there. With the vaccinations, it was possible to break the connection between infections and serious disease causes, he explained. The British Prime Minister, in whose country the Delta variant began to rampant much earlier than in Germany, is planning to end the most of the anti-corona measures that are still in place from July 19th. The Prime Minister had said that he wanted a state of affairs that came as close as possible to the pre-corona conditions. The government in London wants to comment on details of the coming further easing, probably in the coming week, so this week. Johnson is under pressure from the Conservative Tory party base to soon drop all corona restrictions. Nevertheless, it cannot be ruled out that measures such as the mask requirement in densely populated public places will remain in force over the summer. In addition, the government in London had announced that it would lift the quarantine requirements for twice vaccinated Britons who are returning from travel countries with a medium risk rating. These countries currently include most of the EU countries, including Germany and France. Politicians like the Social Democrat expert for health Karl Lauterbach had warned that the spread of the Delta variant in the EU could be further promoted by British tourists. At the last EU summit at the end of June, Merkel tried in vain to ensure that all EU countries introduce strict travel rules for travellers from Great Britain that have been in place in Germany since May. Because the federal government has classified Great Britain as a virus variant area, tourists from the island are currently not allowed to enter this country. Most recently, however, Federal Health Minister Jens Spahn had stated that the restrictions on entry from the virus variant areas, Great Britain and Portugal, could be lifted in July. Merkel has now stated in Chequers that she is assuming that travel will be made easier for people who have been vaccinated twice in the foreseeable future. Beyond their differences of opinion on fighting pandemics, Merkel and Johnson basically agree that the current problems surrounding Brexit must be solved as pragmatically as possible. Great Britain left the EU a year and a half ago. However, the problems have only been apparent since the beginning of this year, especially with the export of British goods to Northern Ireland, which is still part of the EU internal market. There has already been talk of a sausage war in the British media because the EU rules apply to export of British meat products to Northern Ireland. The conflict has not been resolved, but has been postponed once more. The EU has extended the transition period for the unhindered export of meat and sausage products to Northern Ireland until the end of September. Johnson, however, resorted to a daring comparison on Friday to make it clear why he rejects the customs controls required by the EU on the Irish Sea between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Once again, he brought his favorite one. Imagine that, due to international jurisdiction, bratwurst is no longer allowed to travel from Dortmund to Düsseldorf to be delivered. Yeah, it might work with his own people, and they love that in the media, in the Brexiteer press especially. He tried that one on Macron before, and that comparison, if he dares to do that over and over again, first of all, Düsseldorf and Dortmund are on the same landmass. First point. But the more important one, and if he tries to insult intelligent people with those comparisons all the time, I have to give the proper answer. Neither Düsseldorf or Dortmund are occupied territory. Northern Ireland is. I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.